This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
And we are back. Today we're covering some crazy stories about FEMA mismanagement, fraud cases, even mayor who went to jail earlier. The last story, Jonathan has details about $27 million for showers. Where did the money go? Jonathan, where did the money go? Share the story.
Yes, sir. This is going to be a heart wrencher here, guys. So, North Carolina set up a relief center after Hurricane Helene to help storm victims get clean, stay connected, and feel human again. But a new report says the state spent $27.4 million on that site just to offer showers and laundry. Now, people are asking, was it help or waste? And what about the out-of-state contractor who ran it? So here's the case details on this. September 24, Helene hits the southeast. North Carolina suffered extreme flooding and thousands of residents are displaced. October 24, North Carolina hires a Texas company called SCO, which I think we heard them in a previous one here too, right?
Okay.
To run a relief center in a town called Sawananoa. So Sawananoa, I don't know if I messed that up, but the site gave out basic series like showers, laundry, hygiene kits, and internet. The center ran for 189 days and cost the state $27.4 million, about $145,000 per day. It provided about 14,000 showers, 18,000 loads of laundry. Some workers hired by SLSCO were paid $87 to $145 an hour, with an extra $215 per day just for showing up. The state did not track how many people used the site until almost a month later. By then, only 40 to 60 people a day were coming by. The cost per laundry load, $220. Auditors say the state could have handed out $20 laundry vouchers and in a total of just around $360,000. So here's what the outcome is as of now. No one has been accused of fraud yet, but auditors say there were major problems with how the money was spent and tracked. Critics say that the same $27 million could have built over 100 new homes for the families who lost everything. The state's recovery office is also facing a $300 million budget shortfall, and a bigger audit is on the way. The contractor SLSCO has been involved in other controversies, including allegedly misusing the FEMA funds after Hurricane Sandy. The New York couple who sued them earlier, we talked about, and settlement talks just began in 2025. Building a $52 million hospital that only treated 79 patients. It was the only contractor who said it could build an emergency hospital in 7 days during the height of New York's COVID surge, winning billions of dollars in the border wall contracts without a public bidding process. SLSCO and the Trump administration came under fire after upping the cost of contracts by over $1 billion using supplemental agreements.
Wow. Here it
Lots
comes
of
the
questions
corruption. Here comes the corruption in the United States. I actually just asked ChatGPT what does ChatGPT knows about the company. And it says, same thing, false claims, allegation following Hurricane Sandy, political contracts and border wall. So they were involved there, $229 million actual wall project. And there's just quite a few things. The labor classification dispute has advanced with procedural rulings in favor of potential collection action. Multiple major government contracts have raised public and media concerns, though not always legally contested. So government, I guess is involved as far as like official goes, like corruption 101, right? Like, if you have a couple $100 million here and there, how do you think our people in government get paid? Get rich like that. It's always been funny to me to watch how much money they worth, like especially Congress people. They're all like multi millionaires. The YouTube channel School of Door Knocks, Hard Knocks. So the guy goes, talks to billionaires and millionaires, like quick interviews. He
Yeah.
recently went to Washington, and he was trying to talk to politicians how much they're worth and how they made their money. Nobody would talk to him. I would love to talk to people behind SLSCO. Hate the company name, how I can't pronounce it. Brent, What are you reading there?
I'm on a
You're looking.
website called usaspending.gov, and I just looked up SLSCO, and yeah, they're a big player for government contractors. You have Department of Defense stuff, like Jonathan said, border wall stuff. I mean, I'm looking at one obligation here of $635 million, and there's a long list of these contracts. So I don't know, man.
Well, my
That's a power player, and I'm sure they're very well connected with the
so
right or wrong people, depending on how you want to look at this.
my question to all of you is the ethical question here. How much can we charge, or should we charge, or is there such a thing as an ethical billing? Because if government comes to you, city, whatever, and say, whatever you charge, just charge me, right? Like for me, like, my price is my price. It does not change. My value does not change because you have a bigger house, you have a bigger budget. I'm going to charge what I charge. I mean, if I add travel expense, if I go out of town, I'm probably going to charge more. You'll cover my travel expense. I might do emergency rate, right? But where's the supply and demand in all of this? Because if you build something quick and easy and nobody else willing to do it, I mean, this stuff is different because this is behind closed doors. Like, it's not like anybody can get on the deal or can even bid on it, right? But that's the problem with the government. When they ask you to bid on something and you provide the invoice and you're the only one who can do it, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, charge less?
I,
Most
I think the
contractors I
thing,
know
yeah, the
will
thing
charge
I'm
more.
looking at here is what the workers were paid. Like, I don't think that's an unfair rate for who knows where they came from. I don't think it's astronomical at $87 an hour or the 215 on the per diem, but I think it's to the broader point of what you were talking about and what Brent brought up too is like I went back and looked at all their contracts and like they're bipartisan. Like I don't think that this like and what that would tell me is if there's corruption there, it's not even on a partisan side. Like they've been hired by both sides. It feels like there's something there that's bigger between them and somebody else that's in Congress or somebody else that's in the government side of it that is not red or blue. So that's what I would say to kind of
Yeah.
start there with because they've got a track record of this.
But what do you think about $27 million laundry? Like, don't you think it's a little excessive?
I want to visit
Absolutely,
the
it's
center.
excessive.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to see. Did they build a Roman bathhouse? I mean, Dimitri, you like a good sauna. I mean, I wonder what that place looks like. Uh, I mean, the number gets huge, and it's alarming to think we could spend that much money and only be able to help people in that kind of way. $145,000 a day to run it. I mean, and Jonathan, I want people to be paid fairly too, but man, like
Yeah.
that's a
Two, two,
really good wage, almost $150 an
$215,
hour. Like
yeah,
that's
just to show up.
yeah.
But yeah, they did
Yeah.
not. The
I mean, I
the
think
cost
my
per laundry is $220. I mean, you can literally go
yeah.
to Walmart and buy the a brand new clothes for that price. I mean, $200, you can dress up the person. You know.
I would say what's the context there, right? Is
Yeah.
this the place that they popped up in just across the river, and you got to cross the river to get it over there because there's no bridge? Like there's a lot of context that we're missing here too. So like,
That's
would
true.
I swim across the river to go manage this thing? I don't know if I'd do it $100, $100 an hour. So like without context, but I agree the oversight is the issue, right? They
Yeah.
kept running it and they might have only needed 2 people instead of 30 people or whatever it is. So it's like, I do think there's a lot of waste and blubber here, if you will, but like without knowing the context, like, are they riding an ATV for 2 hours to get to the site, right?
Yeah.
In the middle of the wood, because this was a really bad site
Yeah.
of what happened here. So without
That's
knowing
true.
where it was at, like I don't know, like the hourly wage doesn't upset me as much if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yes, the
Yeah.
overall cost does. Is like who was there to pull the plug and say, hey, like we got 60 people coming here. Like why would we be paying this kind of money to do laundry service?
Well,
It'd be cheaper
Dimitri,
to
you
buy
asked
new
the question.
clothes.
Yeah, it would. You asked the question, the ethical question, like what's a fair price to charge? And I'm in your camp, obviously. Like our price should be our price. The idea that it depends on who's paying is going to affect how you charge is akin to charging someone differently when you pull up to $1 million house versus pulling up to a modular home, and your whole pricing structure changes. Like, that's as unethical, and that's the thing that gets contractors terrible names and reputations. And here we have not just $1 million house, you have a multi-trillion-dollar government organization who you're pulling up to, and clearly people are moving the goalposts and changing the pricing structure based on that. And that's what's alarming. Like, figuring out how to have good contractors with good core values that they maintain even in the face of opportunities to overcharge and corrupt is difficult. But I'm glad there's people like you fighting the good fight.
You know what's said here?
Agreed.
I remember the media coverage in 2024. It was minimal. Hurricane Helene, minimum. Like, I've seen social media clips. The disaster was all over. I mean, people lost their homes. They were gone. Like, when it comes to California fires, everybody's talking about it for weeks. When it comes to Helene, and like, I don't know if it's area or what, like, I love that stories like this coming out, because those people did not get help. If you remember, there was a few scandals where we're sending money overseas as a government, but we're not helping those victims. Things like that. So I think it's corruption at its finest. I like these kind of stories. They do come up. Unfortunately, because of amounts are so big, I think a lot of people are getting away with it because it's hard to prosecute. You can overcharge like crazy, and who's going to make you accountable? Government keep printing money, and they close eyes on anything. Guys, comment below if you're watching us on YouTube. What do you think about stories today? What do you think about the topics? Corruption, do you see it around you? Do you see it in your city? We read all of our comments, and we'll listen to you when you speak. If you want to reach out to the show and maybe be a guest on the show, 612-558-4881. We're always looking for new stories. I'll see you next week.
This video is sponsored by Directory.com, the safest way to find a roofing contractor. The Directory app is free to use, and all contractors and their jobs come with a $20,000 guarantee. Directory is a concierge service. They find and recommend contractors to use for home improvement and back them up with a $20,000 guarantee. In case a contractor takes your money and runs away, Directory will give you your money back or will finish the project if the contractor disappears and ghosts the project. Directory doesn't give bad recommendations, but in case of a dispute, you are covered with a $20,000 guarantee. Download the app now and hire your next contractor with peace of mind.